following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
This isn't just a game, this is iRacing. It is arguably one of the biggest road courses in all of America. I'm pretty sure it is the biggest, but I'm going to say that and probably get it wrong. So let's just say one of. 4 miles long, 14 corners, a lot of straightaways, a lot of history. This is Road America. It is Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. It is race number 2 of the chase for the GLSR Mr. Radiator Premier Series Championship. After a wild race number 1 at Chicagoland Speedway tonight, it is race number 2 in this run for the championship, and for the first time in a couple of seasons here, it is a road course race in the middle of a playoff run, and we get to do it here at the 4 Mile Road America here in Elkhart Lake. I am the captain. We welcome you in on this Wednesday night, a race tonight being called the Blah Grand Prix. And believe it or not, I have went and did a slight bit of research on this one. And I actually found a definition for the word blah. It has happened. And thanks to WikiHow, this is the exact wording that it says. Plah is a popular slang term that people use as a conversation stopper. It's also a sound effect in hip-hop music and TikTok reels. It was popularized by producer Mexicodro, who uses it as a music tag to identify his music. It later became a TikTok sound meant to disrupt a speaker. There you go. So tonight's race, known as the Blah Grand Prix. And now you've heard it all here on the Captain eSports Network, officially. All right, so tonight, a specialized timed race has been done here the last couple of seasons in GLSR. It'll be a 70-minute race, not a certain amount of lap type of race. So I would expect, with lap times being between roughly 2 minutes, 14 seconds to 2 minutes and 20, we'll call it somewhere in that range. So do some math out of there. And basically, I'm thinking somewhere in the 25 to 30 lap range is what we're looking at here lap-wise tonight. So, going to be interesting. That means we will get at least one stop here in this race. There's no cautions at all. So, there will be green flag pit stops and who knows what else kind of drama there will be. Last time we were at this track, August of 2023, it's the one and only win for Sean Peachin. And I will tell you this right now, it's a different setup here tonight, and Sean Peachin does not feel nowhere as good that he felt that night there in August. I've already talked to him, and he has got the struggle bus out there on that number 69 team right now. So that's going to be someone to watch here tonight. But I think you're going to see some faster speeds. You're going to see the track record go bye-bye here tonight. The pole back in that race a year ago was a 2 minutes and 14 second lap. In practice, they were near the 2:11 mark. So obviously this track's got a lot of grip in it with the setup that's been put together. They are going to be ripping and gripping as qualifying begins now. Hot laps presented by Spicy Schemes around this 4-mile track. So we're going to have a minute here to talk before they get back here to the start-finish line. This is going to get really interesting because obviously you got to keep the car on track and not destroy it through the 14 corners. A lot of straightaways here, including the front straightaway and then the straightaway down to turn 5. You've also got the straightaway heads down to Canada Corner, which is turn 12. And then plenty of sweeping and slower corners that we'll be talking about here throughout the night. And I can tell you this right now, Matt Taylor will not be able to pick on me tonight for the corner turns, because there's really only 2 that we need to know about. And that would be Canada Corner, which is turn 12, and then turn 7, which is Kettle's Bottom. So, or Kettle Bottoms. There we go. I just got the S in the wrong spot. So, Taylor won't be able to pick on me tonight, which is good. So, all right, here we go. Qualifying beginning, as I mentioned, presented by Spicy Schemes. As these cars will roll around. I guess there's the kink too, but that's technically not a corner on this track. So, you could say that counts too, but we'll leave that to the judges, if you will, as... Here we go. Hey, speaking of the team there, there's Jason Dalton there for a second. Here's the 9 of Evan Ramsey, the 5 of Cam Ingram. Looks like Telder's actually going to be the first one to get to the start-finish line. He's coming up through turn 13 right now. They got 10 minutes to run qualifying here, so you easily should get 2 laps here. And even if you had an off track, you add another 2 minutes to that. So I would say as long as you're on track somewhere within the 6-minute mark to go in the next minute and a half, you should be okay to at least get 2 laps in of qualifying. So first car, as I mentioned, crossing the start-finish line. Here is the 1 of Matt Telder as he races this thing down here to turn 1. Likely a second gear corner right here. Right-hander, 90 degrees. Down a little bit of a short shoot here, up to third, like close to 4th gear maybe right here. Back down to 2nd gear. And another right-hander leads you from turn 2 to turn 5. Now you wonder, where's turn 3 and 4? Well, unlike Pocono, there is a turn 3 and 4. It's that little kink right there. And then there's another little left-hander that's considered turn 4 here. And I wonder if he got an off track for that little left rear off. And then a very tough corner all the way down to 1st gear for some. Left-hander right there at turn 5. Up the hill here, a blind turn 6. I sit here and talk like I'm a road racing expert. I know I'm not that good at road racing, but I've learned a lot about this track on iRacing here. As Gagnon is throwing out letters to me now. Well, what in the world is MSFS? As Telder through the carousel. Easily a corner, you could run it right down on that white line, or you can almost do an arc and a double apex. And here comes the infamous kink right here. Right, little sharp corner, off the brake, right back to the gas, and down the straightaway here to Canada Corner. Probably not. Hill here, turn 13, real fun corner right here, but easy to slide right off right there at turn 13 and brings it down to the right-hander, turn 14. So there you go, there's your 14 corners all in one. As Telder going to be the first one to cross the line, but right now it looks like Diego Sainz might be the one to take a look at here as Telder crosses the line and see what his first lap looks like. A 2:14.451, a pretty solid lap there for the one car who didn't get many laps of practice in. As here comes Diego up to the start-finish line. You see Brandon's got a couple purple sectors. And we'll have to watch Alpin as he crosses the line. There's Diego. Here comes Brandon up under the bridge. As he will cross the line, and there's your new track record from Well, pretty much 4 of the front 6 cars right now. 2:12.50 for Brandon Alphin and that Energizer Bunny car. Brandon feeling pretty good about this 21 car here this evening as Diego second, Sean Peach in the winner from last season. There he is in third. Jason Dalton fourth as Fontaine puts himself up into third position right now with a 2:12.9, so good lap for him. Tristan Ladisor in that 7 car for a second straight week, 2:14.16. See Lucas Strayer out there. He's put it back in the pits. Luke Simonson trying to get a lap in. Let's check out Devin Ramsey here in the 40 Racewear number 9. Good opportunity to share with you as Ramsey will have to abort that lap and try again. That 40 Racewear's got a special going on right now for Black Friday. Check out 40racewear.com. Their logo is down, or their, I should say their link is down in the information page underneath the screen here. So you can check out that website. A big shout out to the man himself as the website looking pretty good. Of course, the business doing pretty well as Jim Herrick has done a fantastic job putting all that work together. As we got 3 minutes to go. Brandon Alphin going faster here on lap 2. At least he's purple in one sector. Brings it out of 14. Looks like somewhere around Canada corners where he's just went purple. Can he back it up here on lap number 2? He ran a 50. Can he? Now he runs an 81 on lap number 2. So pretty consistent, though, to be able to drop 2 12s across the board on a 4-mile track. That's pretty impressive. Here's Fontaine in that 77 car. Of course, the whole KGD2 car, running captain cars, if you will. And Fontaine's going to practice his pit stop, which this is a whole nother entity. Up a hill, and right about here are the cones. And then you go down a very long pit road all by yourself. And that's going to sound kind of weird. But all of that pit space back there, and then you get to the pit stalls. It looks like Fontaine might try to reset and run a lap, but he's already come back here to complete lap 2, so he won't be able to do it. The only other cars with a chance to grab the pole here, here's Tyler Pluff. I did not get a chance to ask Tyler if he would allow me to call him Tyler Pluff tonight. He probably would say no to that, but you never know. Through the carousel under the Mission Foods Bridge. Through the kink and up towards Canada corner here. Probably one of the fastest parts on the track, near 170 miles an hour. About 165 is what I saw there on Tyler's meter. On the brakes real hard, sliding that car out a little bit here. Very tricky getting on the gas here because you kind of start to go uphill. Underneath the bridge to turn 13. Well, there used to be a bridge there. There's not one anymore. And turn 14. As Alex Bryson, up there goes his lap right there at the last moment. So Alex Bryson, the last one on track. And, well, to be quite frank, he is probably not going to make it back to the start-finish line. He's over here in the carousel right now. And he's got 20 seconds to complete this lap. Actually, he might get this lap finished because I forgot that with road course qualifying, they do kind of give you an extra second or two. As did he just lose it right there with the 2 wheels off, but he's still at full speed through the kink. Going to race up the straightaway here towards Canada corner. And he's in the game over. And just like that, that's how it ends. So Brandon Alphin wins the Spicy Schemes Hot Laps Pole Award here this evening at Road America as we go trackside for for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right. We are all set to go for 70 minutes of racing around this technically 4.048 mile road course of Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, in the PLA Grand Prix. As we take a look at the starting lineup, as Brandon Alphin on the pole, Diego Sainz there on the outside. Diego looking pretty good here on a road course so far. Sam Fontaine in row number 2, and Sean Peach in the winner from August of last year. Jason Dalton, Tristan Ladisseur there in row 3. Matt Telder, Alex Bryce in row 4. Matthew Wheeler and Joey Ladisseur in row 5. Ben Pierce making his second straight start along with Cam Ingram. Good to see Cam back on the grid for a second straight week. As these cars are out on track. Tyler Pluff, Stephen Miles. A little bit of a rough qualifying effort for the 24 car. Stephen has gone from not liking road courses so much to all of a sudden liking them. So we'll see how he does here tonight at Road America. Ryan Sutphin, Devin Ramsey, Tyler Brewer, Jacob Thornton, Luke Simonson, Caleb Fosnot, Richard Midkiff. Caleb and Richard, I think, elected for provisionals, so they're not going to race tonight. So that'll leave us with 21 cars around this 4-mile racetrack. As I mentioned before, 70 minutes of racing. Series presented by Mr. Radiator. 69 degrees, 77 down on track, 48% humidity under partly cloudy skies, and somebody apparently has hacked my screen. Who did this? Which one of y'all did it? But there you see the corners. All 14 of them. So as I mentioned, this is a very long course, so this gives us a minute to talk to some drivers. Let's talk to one really quickly as he's running through turn 6 right now. And you know what? Never mind, he's not in there to talk to. We're going to talk to our pole sitter, but let's see. Not even the gunslinger guys are in here. So there's like 8 people in Discord, so not going to have many options tonight, looks like, here to talk with. So I apologize for the inconvenience there. So tonight, the last race on the Captain eSports Network until December, as we'll have a 10-day off period with no league broadcast until a week from Monday. After today, I am welcoming it with open arms. No offense to anybody, but we are like a week from Thanksgiving still. And I'm going out with 100 stops already on the route, and my body is hurting. Definitely use an Energizer battery. Put it like that right now. So obviously, a lot of key corners here. When you're in a group like this for a start of a race, turn 1 is going to be crucial. Then you're going to get down to turn 2 is going to be crucial. And then turn 5 is where you're going from 175 miles an hour down to about 50. And there are going to be some people that probably send it in there pretty deep, maybe unintentional or whatever, but it's likely to happen. So this first half of the lap is going to get very interesting here. As the pace car going to bring the field through turn 13 to turn 14. And then up one of the longest straightaways in stock car racing now. Up a hill. Pace car is going to hang a right to pit road entrance. Now a left with the camera facing the other way. As Brandon Alford and Diego Sainz will bring them to the green flag. Our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. They're online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. As the green flag waves, here we go for 70 minutes. As the drag race begins down to turn 1. Alford with Fontaine there behind him. Going to clear Diego for the lead. Fontaine trying to get by for second. Everybody good through turn 1. Down to turn 2, another right-hander. Everybody good so far. And now the drag race down to turn 5. Alford already pulling away to 3/4 of a second. And look at Diego setting that thing in there. Yay, wide. He might have yelled plow going through there. Except he might have been saying plow. Oh, Telner locking him up. He's sideways going to turn 6. He's off. Nice save on his part. And Wheeler's out in the grass. As they get through turn 6 to Kettle Bottoms. Cars losing a couple positions here early. All about getting into a rhythm here right now. Devin Ramsey putting some wheels off over here. They go through the carousel for the first time. Alford already 1.3 second lead on Fontaine. How else to put this, but you've got a man here who, I don't know if it's improved or gone down or anything like that. His iRating on a road course was somewhere in the 3s, if I remember correctly, for all these years. But the man can go out here and run a road course. As Alford brings it up the hill, will lead lap number 1. You'll notice up on the time. Again, a timed race here. An hour and 7 minutes of racing here to go. Here's Tristan Ladouceur. Put some pressure on his teammate there, Telder. Hey, what? Shout out to everyone here. All 21 cars making it across the start-finish line within about 15 seconds. I was waiting to see somebody rack it. I know a couple people tried, but everybody did okay. Turn 5, Teller's stretched it out there just a little bit. As Diego, who made that mistake going to turn 5 on lap 1, now putting some pressure on Dalton. Kettle Bottoms trying a little bit of a crossover move, a little over-under as they call it in road racing. And it looks like Tyler Brewer's out there playing in the grass. see the different lines through the carousel. Some of these corners. Carousel is the one you'll probably see the most, where a car will either diamond or maybe just loop it right on the bottom line, or might even see it drift up and run a more higher side of the track. But Diego's all over Dalton's rear. Yet Dalton's doing a good job of holding on there. Diego just trying to get the run into the corner there, not able to do so, as they'll drag race now up to the front straightaway. Alphin and Fontaine about a half second back of each other. Dalton and Sainz 2/10. Miles only 2/10 back from Joey Ladasseur, and Steven is already up 6 positions from the start of this race. So that 24 car looking awfully sporty here, even though he didn't really get a qualifying run in. I appreciate the viewers hanging out here tonight on this Wednesday evening. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come back and join us when we're on the air. Unfortunately, that will not be now until next Monday night for the next broadcast you will hear on the Captain eSports Network. Drivers having a hard time making passes here, middle part of the track. A lot of corners that go right to left or left to right, or whatever different directions you want to call it. Switchbacks, I believe is what the proper term is. I've kind of lost in my head here, so. Teller putting some wheels off over in the kink, it looks like. Luke Simonson having some issues over there, turn 8. Near the carousel, as both of them are able to continue on, no damage to either car. Check back here, Tyler Plouffe, Devin Ramsey, Ben Pierce. As they battle in the can of the corner, and oh, there's an old throwback paint scheme. The O2 with the old lap cars matter paint. Teller having some more wheels off somewhere. Looks like Wheeler having some issues over at turn 14 as he finally gets back on track. As he tries to gain speed, Thornton has gone by him, so Wheeler falling back to 15th. Clark. Buddy Kevin England, if he was watching, of course he broadcasts with me on Monday nights. I brought up that term to him, and he I thought he might jump through the computer at me, because I made a comment about lap cars, and I said, yeah, we had this series on Wednesday night, we always said lap cars matter. And his words to me, and I quote, were, I couldn't disagree with you more. I was like, wait, what? It's like, all right. As up here, Sam Fontaine trying to hold off the progresses of Sean Peach. And Sean said a little bit ago that he was nowhere near as fast as these cars were this season. Felt that the track had gotten faster, the opposition had gotten faster, and he had gotten slower, but he's looking pretty sporty right now in this third position. Yeah, he's already 3.1 seconds back from the lead. But sometimes all you got to do is be there to win this race at the end. lap. Brandon Alphin has led them all so far. He's got that Energizer Bunny out there rolling. Yes, right here at 5th position. Kristen Ladisor. AB right there in front of them. And you see Diego Sainz turn her sideways. Stephen Miles trying to get up in this battle too. He's about 3.5, almost 4 seconds back. In the 8th position, Telder there behind them at 9. Joey Ladisor 10. Already going to complete the 10-minute mark in this race. Under an hour to go. Obviously, ideal, you want to get to halfway, which would be the 35-minute mark. Go on in, get tires and fuel. Road America, I usually Road America eats up tires, but I've read through some Discord pages and stuff today that these tires really not wearing out much at all. So you could see some tire strategy here potentially at this track. Otherwise, I would think you'd come on in, 4 tires, fill up the tank, and get out. Uh-oh, first accident there. At least he spun around. Luke Simonson in the 49 car's gone around over here at turn 6, it looks like, but he's going to be okay. Front end's got a little damage. That Celiac.org Red Bull car. Big shout out to Luke for running that paint scheme as always. Back here, Ladisor getting by his teammate, Telder. A couple dirt racers here. Really feeling like this car's driving on dirt right now. Telder back to 10th. Here's AB. He's under attack as Tristan Ladisor trying to put pressure on that 38 car. Tracks all of a sudden. Tyler Pluff with issues. He has brought his car to pit road. What happened here? Oh no. Oh, that is right outside the kink. Oh, he went too hard and the kink bit him. Those are actual concrete barrels that he's hit. And unfortunately for Tyler Pluff, I don't know if he just lost track of where he was or the car just didn't turn, but straight into the wall. And that 39 car is going to be out of the race here, unfortunately, early. I didn't even get a chance to show you guys as we're under the green flag here. Let's show you a couple of point standings here because there's actually 2 that we're keeping an eye on. Let's start with the main point standings as Sam Fontaine leads by 7 points over Stephen Miles. Diego Sainz 9 back. Of course, 13 back is Alex Bryson. Tyler Pluff, you see him right there in the 5th position. This is going to hurt Tyler Pluff big time. He will likely fall somewhere, I would say probably down near 11th. Somewhere in that range, down near 11th to 12th when this thing's all over with, depending on where these other drivers finish. As Telder doing some more landscaping work. Now the other point standings I wanted to show you is one that kind of came up at the last second, and the guys from GLSR decided to do a different point standings for those that did not make the playoffs here. And basically I've called it the best of the rest. And here it is. Jason Clark leads that. Well, did until he decided he ain't running this road course. As he leads right now by 3. Obviously, he'll fall to probably... Well, it depends, I guess. How see Barnes isn't here tonight, so Brett Murphy's not here tonight. There's a few guys not here tonight, so it'll probably fall somewhere around 21st and 22nd. We'll have to see how that goes, and there's a little bit of a prize for the driver to win that award. Montesaur getting to the back bumper. Bryson trying to get around him. Bryson doing a good job just maintaining his line right now. Brandon Alfin continues to lead 6 seconds over Sam Fontaine. The carousel. Ooh, Montesaur stuck it in there. Almost some contact. Miles hanging right there with him. Miles going to try to make a run into the kink. Thinks better of it. Some great racing right here. 6th, 7th, and 8th. Miles going to send it into Canada corner. Montesaur going to hold on. Seven laps complete. As mentioned, should be easily a one-stop race to get to the finish. Miles making a move to the inside. Montesaur kind of keeping them shallow there as they're going to try to turn 1 here. So Miles takes the position away, and Bryson's going to slow up and let them both go. And oh no! Montesaur goes wide. And that actually worked out for the 2 cars from Laser Racing right there. Not sure. I didn't see contact, but you never know. Let's watch it again. Miles clears the 7 in, and Bryson's going to pull over right here, turn 2, to let them go. Get us a better angle of this. No contact. It almost looks like maybe Tristan was shifting or something there. The back end came around on him mid-corner. He's able to continue on, no damages. Go check on Jason Dalton. He's got himself a fight on his hands now as Steins continues to try to get around him. As you see now, Dalton has caught the 69 car of Sean Peachin. Got Peachin right there in sight. Also Sam Fontaine. Otherwise, I mean, Brandon Alfin is in Milwaukee right now. As Luke Simonson's brought his 49 car to pit road. Telder's brought his 1 car to pit road. There's another points implication there for the 1 car. As Dalton holds off Diego here. Again, thank you viewers for hanging out on this Wednesday evening. As we see through the first couple laps here, some of the cars to keep an eye on, as tonight the 6th race on a road course in this series history. not seen a repeat winner yet. Justin Bondurant, Sam Fontaine, Brandon Alphin, Sean Peach, and Diego Sainz, the 5 winners in 5 races on a road course. Is tonight 6 for 6. It's going to be a tough one already. I'm seeing Alphin looking pretty sporty. Fontaine's up there. You got Peachin up there. You have the usual suspects hanging out up there at the top of the field right now. The one thing I am catching is just very tough to pass out there right now on the track. Marsh Road America, a track that has hosted races since the 1950s, from IndyCar to IMSA to the Sports Car Club of America, GT World Challenge, Trans Am, Motor America. Sitting on 640 acres is this track. As its original configuration from that time in the 1950s, one of only a handful amount of tracks, as a matter of fact, from that time to now. It's never really had any changes. Start-finish line's always been where it's been. Look at Dalton continuing to put pressure on Peach, and there's Fontaine, there's Sean, there's Dalton, there's Diego, all 4 of those cars under a blanket. I'm keeping an eye on the timing and scoring too to see what happens with Alphin, because usually on an oval track, when Alphin pulls off to a lead like this, he might fall back to the clutches of the other drivers. So we'll have to see if that continues here tonight, or will he be able to maintain his lead? I mean, I go back to a few road races of the past here in GLSR where Brandon Alphin kind of ran away and just stayed up front, and unfortunately made his own mistake in that race that would take him out of contention. And I hope that's not kind of sitting in the back of his head right now. Easily the closest battle on track right now. The only other battle that has a little less than a second gap is going to be back there with Matthew Wheeler and Ben Pierce, 11th and 12th positions. And that BD Designs number 02 car as he tries to catch Wheeler, who has since opened that lead back up, as we'll jump back up here to the second place battle. As AD putting a couple of wheels off here at lap 10. But otherwise been clean and green, really haven't had too many issues. But we do have some cars off the track now. Matt Telder, Brian Sutphin, Luke Simonson, Tyler Pluff, all have taken their cars to pit road and out of the race. Those guys will have to sit back and wait 2 weeks before we get back on track for race number 3 of this chase for the championship. the carousel down to the straightaway to Canada Corner. Not sure, Clark, because he didn't wreck. He most of these I'm seeing, like just in the highlights, it's just simple off tracks. I mean, we can go back and look here, but I don't think he did anything. Let's see. He goes through the kink here. Never mind. He wrecked in the kink. He pretty much emulated what Tyler Pluff did. So I stand corrected. There you go. That's what happened to Teller. Really quickly. He done get got. All right, so 45 minutes to go. We still got the, again, 100% fuel to sell. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time on my hands to be able to sit here and tell you how the full amount of laps they can go on a tank of fuel. My guess is somewhere in the 20 area minutes. So in that case, we're 23 minutes into this race right now. I would have to say probably going to see pit stops either right at the 35-minute mark or a little after. And after that, it will be a race to the checkered flag. But right now, the only race that is happening looks like is right around that 5th, 6th, 7th area. As Brandon Alford's still an impressive 9.6 second lead in this 21. Let's actually jump on board here with Brandon Alford. I know I kind of talked you through a lap a little bit here at Road America, and let's kind of talk through it here a little bit more as he goes through turn 8 up underneath the Speedville bridge into the carousel, and you see Brandon slides the car up the track. That is kind of purposely done as he's making the straightaway here longer is what he's doing. He's bringing the car up the track, slowing it down a little bit more with a wide arc, and then driving it straight off to the kink here, a little off the throttle, back into it. And get down here about the 6 sign, right about here-ish. On the brakes, all the way down to 2nd gear. Kind of a blind corner right here because it is slightly uphill. Cannot get back to the throttle too much. It's real smooth here for the 21 car. Still trying to get the work done, not able to do so. And here he comes with the drag race up the straightaway. Oh, and Sean's gonna get turned. I think he kept it out of the barrel. That car's clean. Out of the Camry whip, but Sean Peachin goes around. Not sure if there was contact there. It looked close. Let's see what happens to the Prudential car. Was there contact? Oh yeah, right there. And Sean does a great job to lock the car down. Stephen Miles has come to pit road, it looks like. Or did I misread that? Yes, Miles did come to pit road. 4 tires and fuel, here he is. It's for 4 tires and fuel, 15-second pit stop. So Stephen Miles going to try to undercut here as he pits with Wheeler. So he obviously knows something that we don't know. And that is maybe you can run this last 40 minutes on a tank of fuel to get to the finish of this race. So we're going to have to keep an eye on what Miles can do on his own through the pack. talked about how tough it's been to pass in this race here so far. So could this be where Miles makes up those positions, is coming through the corners? As Cam Ingram trying to get around Ladisor for the make that the 8th position here. Cam putting the pressure on, trying to get there. Has to get out of the gas early. Sean Peachin now going to come to pit road, so it looks like he's aborted his strategy. And the 69 car going to come in for a pit stop. Brings that car in for 4 tires and fuel. And he overshoots his pit stall, so make things a little bit worse. And this might be one of the toughest exits on pit road. Look at that wall that sticks out there, kind of like a sore thumb. Your early pit stall, you got to hang a left immediately to get out of that stall. He does so he's going to pull away, and Sean going to be in the 15th position here. Sort of doing a good job in that green and white car. Of course, Cam Ingram there behind him. Let's go back up here to AB as he and Tristan Ladisor go at it round 2. And all this going on behind Brandon Alfin, who's led all of the 13 laps of this race. Doing a good job through Canada corner, up turn 13. You know, believe it or not, NASCAR actually ran here back in the 1950s as this track hosted. Alex Bryson's going to come to pit road, so he's going to follow his teammate's strategy here and pit at lap 14. Now the question is the 3rd laser car, which is obviously Brandon Alfin. Does he come in now to go to the finish, or does he let it run out? Because the one thing I've been told is that tires aren't really making a difference here. As 4 tires and fuel for those guys, and Bryson should just about be done right there. 14.7 as he pulls away. You see other cars passing through. Bryson gets going down the hill to turn 2. And Joey under more attack. Is Cam going to send it inside? Oh, they almost hit each other. Slides Joey a little wide there, but everybody clean and continuing on. Still not able to make that move right now. But here he comes to the inside. Got the dive into the corner. Ladisor is going to have to give it up for now, as he's going to go back to the inside here in the carousel. But Cam Ingram holding on. As here comes off into pit road, lap number 14. So he has to stay the speed limit all the way through this pit road. That's where I talked about the empty stalls. And then you get to here and you start finding your stalls again. This pit road holds a lot of people. Now this Brewer gets him plenty of room to woe up and get into pit road here for 4 tires and fuel on that 40 or on the 21 car. Brandon 14.9, so he's still going to come out in the top 5 about with all the pit stops. There he goes, and that is Cam Ingram there behind him. So when you run hard enough to be able to still pull out a top 5 position, you're obviously doing something right, because I mean that's how you're going to get closer and closer to your leader every single time. Thanks to all the viewers hanging out here this evening. Obviously, you saw Gagnon hanging out a little bit ago. Diego Sainz before he started the race. Of course, Jason Clark hanging out. Tyler Pluff after his battle with the wall back there on the back straightaway after the kink. Stephen Miles now going to put pressure on Ladisor for the 6th position. Ladisor gives him plenty of room here. That is never good. So the horse is just holding down papers now on the desk. Is that what we're doing here? Oh, Ben Pierce has had some issues. He continues on in the 12th position. Is Jason Dalton going to come to pit road? So another leader coming in right here. Lucas Strayer having some off-track issues, it looks like, and 4 tires and fuel for the 2 car, who brings his teammate Ladisor in there with him. Let's see what happened in the last 2 situations here. Let's start with Ben Pierce. Quite yet. Oh, right there goes for a little loop and keep it off the barrels. Does a good one. Nice save. That's one of those, oh crap, and then you save the car. A great job there by Pierce. Is Sam Fontaine going to be the first one not named Brandon Alphin to lead a lap? He's got pretty sizable margin right now over Diego Sainz, and then Brandon Alphin there in 3rd. Stephen Miles has jumped up to 4th. As here comes Fontaine to pit road. And this is just past the halfway point in this race. So now you go from the undercut probably to more of an overcut now. As here comes Diego Sainz to pit road. So the top 2 are in. and fuel likely for these guys here as Fontaine gets to his stall first. Diego there behind him as Alton's going to go by right now to take the lead of the race as he goes to turn one. As these leaders come in, they're going to have a lot of work to do if they're going to catch this 21 car. Here comes Stephen Miles. There's your second part of the undercut right there. And now they get a very fast Mason and Dalton trying to get up there to the 77. So look at that move there by Laser Racing. Puts them 1-2 right now. As we come up on 30 minutes to go in this Blah Grand Prix from Road America. Cam Ingram and Dylan Rosenberg have come to pit road, so everybody now has pitted in this race. Let's take you through the field here and show you where everybody is running right now. Of course, Brandon Alphin leads this race. He's got a 12.5 second lead now over his teammate Stephen Miles. Alphin's over in Canada corner right now as Miles works his way just past the kink a second ago. As here comes Miles right here. And then Sam Fontaine, 3.78 second advantage, or disadvantage, I should say, to Stephen Miles. There's Fontaine. Fontaine's got 1.5 seconds up on Alex Bryson. There he is in the 38. Of course, Jason Dalton right there behind him as these two fight it out now for 4th and 5th. There's Diego Sainz, 6th position for him. We did have one speeding penalty, it looks like. Tristan Ladisor, who falls back to the 11th position with a 54-second stop, unfortunately, as Sean Peachin running in the 7th position. I'm sure him and Diego will talk about what happened there just a few moments ago. That contact in turn one. I'm sure they'll square that away and figure it all out. How about Matthew Wheeler doing a good job in the 8th position after going off track there early in this race, but that's about a minute or so, a little less than a minute behind, but he's still on the lead lap doing a good job at that 10 car. Cam Ingram in the 8th position, make that 9th. Cam, who was up there battling a few minutes ago with Bryson and others, has started to settle in here in the 9th position. And behind him, the Ladisor boys, the father and son. 10th and 11th right here is Kristen has caught Joey. So that's your 10th and 11th positions. There's Ben Pierce in the 12th spot right now. Dylan Rosenberg in the 13th position. Devin Ramsey, 14th right now for the 9 car. And Lucas Strayer back here in the 15th position, just doing his best. And then, of course, his teammate there, Jacob Thornton, also just trying everything he can to keep the car on track. There's no penalties or anything if you go off track tonight. They've waived the penalty rule for tonight. You'll get some drivers that go to tracks that have portions of it where the off limits is kind of an advantage actually to drive, and those guys will try to take advantage of it. So they decided to waive that rule tonight and let them race basically when it's over with. So Tyler Brewer is on pit road right now. Helder, Sutphin, Simonson, and Pluff all off track here at lap number 19. 26 minutes to go in this race. It's just flying on by. for fourth as here comes Bryson. One thing I'm taking a look at is the lap times right now. Just nobody. Maybe Fontaine, maybe Diego Sainz. They're the three fastest cars with Brandon Alphen right now. But it's not the only battle now, as we're starting to see some cars catch others. As Cam Ingram starting to catch Boston here in the 8th position. Tristan Ladouceur, of course, fighting with his dad back there for 10th and 11th. And then up here for second, Sam Fontaine has caught Stephen Miles. Dives into the inside, the two winningest drivers this season, fighting it out. That is points on the line right there for Miles. Fontaine's going to clear him for the third or second position right now. So as I talked about earlier, I want to give a shout out to 40 Racewear. 40 sharing with us that they're doing a Black Friday special right now. You can check them out online at 40racewear.com. They're also in the page there below the main screen. Click on that and get all the information about their shoes and gloves and so much more, as they got a big special going on there at 40racewear.com. And a big shout out to MC Racing, downtown Fort Wayne. Of course, Mark always been a supporter of the Captain eSports Network, at least since I've been up here in the area. And a big shout out to Mark, who I gotta admit, as I say, every day I drive past this place because I have to go that way to get to my route. And I notice he's got some pretty cool looking LED lights now. They're in the window of his of the shop there. You can go in there and check out all the features he has if you ever come through the area. But still, no matter what, big shout out for him for what he does for the Captain eSports Network. Tries to get up there to Cam after Cam was able to get around him. Oh, Matt, a little deep into the corner there. Does a good job staying off him. So now the question going to be, can Fontaine run any laps quicker than Brandon Alphen, or is this going to be the 21 going to victory lane? Of course, we talked about no driver winning a road course race in Sim 500 on the Premier Series side of things, presented by Mr. Radiator at all in the 5 races. Tonight could be that first one. And whoever wins this race will join Sean Peachin as the only winner on the road course at Road America in the Premier Series. Did that August of last year. In that race, they got 33 laps complete. Tyler Brewer's gone behind the wall. It looks like a 5th car off the track as we jump up here to the 6th and 7th place battle, as Diego Sainz tries to hold off Bryson. Diego not having the run I quite thought that he would do. Just watching Bryson trying to put that pressure on the 44 here. So what's it look like as we go into these next couple of weeks? So we take next week off for week 13. You're going to notice the schedule is a little off. It says that they're going to race next Wednesday night. That has been changed to the following Wednesday. So on the 4th of December will be the first. Oh, and Diego just went wide through the kink there. Not sure if he made contact with the wall behind the screen. I do see left front damage. So Diego takes her wide. Lucas Strayer's taking his car behind the wall. What happened to the 41? Let's see. Went on the front straightaway here to turn 1. And that car did not turn. And doesn't go. Oh, overcorrects it, slides it back over here, and he's just going to tow it back. Did a good job keeping off everything. That was impressive. Diego going to lose that spot to Alex by default, unfortunately for him. So Brandon Alton leads by 17 and a half seconds over Sam Fontaine. I'm going to ask him if this is a bigger win for him over the one at Sonoma, where he has great success at. If somebody were to say to me, dude, out of all the people you know, who would you pick to run Sonoma in a road race? I might have to pick Brandon Alton over everybody I know. I mean, it would be a close battle with like a Fontaine or, you know, a good road course driver, but I mean, it's down in the Canada corner. Diego just continues to fight on here. Check on Stephen Miles here as he tries to hold off Jason Dalton. Miles was 2 seconds slower than the leaders last time by. Not sure what happened there. And I see issues for Tristan Ladasor. Let's see if any damage on the 7. I don't see any. It looks like he had a little off-road excursion just a minute ago. Let's go back here, 3rd and 4th. And 5 seconds back to Alex Bryson. Everybody's been on pit road to get tires and fuel to make it to the finish. The question's going to be, will anybody catch that 21 car? I mean, he's going to need something major to happen for anybody to catch him right now. I mean, he almost could spin the car out and come back and stay straight and, or get back straight and go. I mean, according to the track map I'm seeing right now, I mean, he's over in the carousel right now as Miles and Fontaine over here at turn 8. as Dalton going to go past Miles for third. So Jason Dalton with a great move around the carousel on the outside lane. Shoots his way past Stephen Miles for third. I think Miles kind of yielded that position when it was all said and done here. We got 15 minutes to go, roughly about 4 laps, not much. Actually doing the math there, 4 times 2 is 8 Scala. That would be more like 7 laps. Up to the front straightaway. It looks like it will be about 30 laps or so when it's all said and done, so nobody should have to make another pit stop here the rest of the way, unless you just point blank destroy the race car. Track temp at 88 degrees, 70 degrees ambient. Once again, Diego just having a hard time getting to Bryson to make the pass, but these guys having a great fight. You Captain eSports Network broadcast watchers, again, tonight, the last night you'll see us on the air. The only other things I'm going to be doing during the 10 days off is probably 1 or 2 of the simulating the What If Cup Series, as I'm calling it. You know, what if the 2024 NASCAR Cup season didn't have the playoffs? I mean, obviously, we know what the results would be, but we'll see how the simulation works on iRacing with the drivers and stuff. So we'll do a couple of the recordings of that before we get back next Monday. As Diego's putting the pressure all over that 38. And, I mean, Alex doing a great job not moving, not budging. As there's Diego to the inside. Bryson holding him off right now through turn 12. Switch back here to the advantage to Bryson here. Then it's going to go back to Diego, turn 14. Don't want to drive it too deep here. You'll wash up. See Miles up ahead there. So all off the track now. Tristan Ladesseur, Lucas Strayer, Tyler Dalton, Matt Taylor, Brian Sutphin, Lucas Simonson, and Tyler Pluff. I know there's a couple of drivers here that are still close enough to the other. I would be jumping in a race car right now and trying to see if I can go past that other driver. I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, with what, 7, 8 cars off the track here, there's a couple of them right there within 4 laps of each other. I mean, 4 laps, that's 4 points. You never know in the best of or in the actual playoff format. But those 4 points could come into play. This is by far the best battle on the track. Everybody else, either 3, make that 2 seconds more or more separation between where they are in the next position. So there's nobody really out there racing each other. However, they are racing the racetrack and trying to keep it clean. This track obviously gets very slick, and as the tires kind of wear a little bit here in this last 10-minute stretch, This is that extra 10 minutes as we completed an hour this time by. Diego continuing the fight there. Alex has done a fantastic job of holding off that 44 cars. There's Brandon Alfin. Of course, Brandon Alfin, his one win on a road course, kind of mentioned a little bit ago. I'm going to confirm it really quickly just to make sure. If I remember correctly, came at Sonoma Raceway. No, that was actually Fontana won that race. So let me see here really quickly if I can find. Oh, Alfin won the street circuit of Chicago. That's right. But Brandon trying to show himself as the Midwest road course guy as he won the street circuit race. Now looking to lock up Road America here. And back to the battle with Diego and Bryson. They're getting closer and closer, it seems now. Getting that point in the race where you do not want to make that mistake. You want to be right there ready to pounce. If you're Diego, and if you're Bryson, you want to try to hit the jets as soon as Diego makes a mistake. Doesn't look like as of right now they're going to catch Miles, but still anything can happen right here. Second battle starting to shape up here as Joey Lanasour has been caught by Ben Pierce, the 10th position right here. Oh, 02 locks him up. Very easy to corner to do that in over there. Turn 6 heading to Kettle Bottoms and now through the carousel. Still will not go away. Diego just continuing to trying to put the pressure on. Sean Peachin back there behind him, 17 seconds back, but in the 7th position right now. And he's doing a fantastic job. So is Cam Ingram here in the 8th position here. Cam hasn't run the whole season, so he decided to take some time off. Trying to regroup his thoughts here on the series. Doing a good job running 8th tonight. How about Matt Wheeler? Did Dalton have an off track? Looks like he's okay, but might have thrown a tire off or something there. And does it again right there. A turn at the kink, I should say. And Miles trying to pounce. Not close enough to get to him. So here we go, 5 minutes. Oh, Diego goes wide. He missed the corner. I think he misjudged being behind Bryson and didn't see where the corner was. Tough break for the 44. Let's see this again. Watch how he gets to the outside corner of Bryson here. And he kind of misjudges. Oh, he tried to, oh, you know what? I didn't see it from that angle. He actually tried to make a run on Bryson. And Bryson was there, and he kind of shoved him off the track, which in today's world of racing, kind of the way you got to do it, unfortunately. See that again. Oh yeah, there was contact. You saw Thines trying to get the run out of 13 to 14. And then trying to cross him back to the outside lane, and Bryson pretty much threw him off the track. So I'm sure Diego not going to be too thrilled about that move, but playoffs on the line here. Again, this season is no more of that final round. It is all 1 round and 5 races to see who can score the most points. Miles off the pace as he's going to get passed by both Bryson and Diego Sainz. Miles, who pitted at lap 12, did he short himself on fuel? If so, this is going to be a tough situation here for the 24 car. This should be 2 laps to go right here, depending on where Brandon Alfin is on track. And there he is down coming to turn 5 right now, so this will definitely be 2 laps to go. Should see the white flag next time by in this race. And for Alfin, not really been the season he's been wanting. It's always one where you want to win races, but Brandon Alfin's had a ton of poles this season, but not one of them's transitioned into a win. And he's wanting to change that here this evening as he works through the carousel one more time. It's been actually, as I'm doing the research here, it has been over a season since Brandon Alfin has gone to victory lane in this Premier Series. As I look back, his last win came at the Chicago Street Circuit all the way back at season 2 in November of last year. As a matter of fact, it was this past week. Would have been a year ago on Sunday, I believe it is, the 15th? Friday. A year ago Friday, the last time Brandon Alfin saw victory lane in GLSR as he sees the white flag, final lap this time. And his last time he went to victory lane on a road course and looking to do it again. Granted, I think Brandon, I'm trying to remember, did Brandon run part-time last season? I'm too dang tired to even know that answer. I'm looking really quickly to see. he ran full time, so. Brandon working his way through turn 8 through the carousel now. Ralston looks like he's on his way to victory lane. What has been a pretty entertaining race, obviously. Fontaine 21 seconds back. And what has been a dominant performance. Check back here is Pierce. The inside of Wheeler going to make the move for 9th. So Ben Pierce making moves and working his way up here. As he's still got a full lap to go, as here comes Brandon Alfin. Off of turn 14, he's going to become the first two-time winner on a road course in GLSR Premier Series history, as Brandon Alfin says blah and wins at Road America. Absolute dominance. Fontaine will finish second. Jason Dalton will complete the podium here. Alex Bryson and Diego Sainz got to keep an eye here. I wonder if Diego might go up there and give him a little tap tap. As everybody gets on their cool down lap here. Stephen Miles. Wonder if he had to save some fuel or something, but he ends up in a 6th position. Sean Peachin, who had to contact with the 44, he's going to finish 7th. How wide the course is. Everybody who started this race actually finishes on the lead lap. Or I shouldn't say who started, who's running is still on the lead lap of this race. So everybody's going to cross the line here one by one. There goes Cam crossing the start finish line. And Pierce bringing her off turn 14. He's going to finish in the 9th position. And how about Matthew Wheeler? Joey Ladisor charging back there, but Wheeler's going to finish 10th. Ladisor will finish 11th. Dylan Rosenberg 12th. Devin Ramsey still over here in turn 13 as he's trying to hold off Jacob Thornton, who's within a second here. Ramsey going to cross the line, and there you go. The 14 finishers have officially made it as here comes Alfin out of 14 to come do some donuts. And that Energizer battery car. I saw the post on Discord earlier this afternoon as I took a quick break from my busy day at work. I saw Alfin's comments about this setup is perfect. And my first words were, whoa. Brandon definitely knows how to road course race, even though his iRating might not tell you that. Part of the reason why I always bring up iRating being overrated. That's a whole nother story for another day. As the Louisville graduate celebrates in victory lane. And we'll talk to our top 3 finishers here in just a moment. But first, the race results. As mentioned, Alton wins it. Playoff drivers taking the top 6 spots, top 7 spots. As Cam Ingram ends up the first one out in 8th, Ben Pierce 9th, Matt Wheeler 10th, Ladiseur and Rosenberg 11th and 12th, Devin Ramsey 13th, Jacob Thornton and Tristan Ladiseur, your top 15 finishers. Tristan, the only one that had a speeding penalty tonight, I believe, in that one pit stop. Strayer, Brewer, Telder, all these cars off the track. Sutphin, Simonson, Pluff, Fosnot, and Midkiff, those 2 chose not to run the race and took a provisional, as they apparently were having their struggles out there on the track here this evening. Let's talk to our top 3 finishers. After some fun road course racing, let's see how these guys are feeling. And let's start with the driver of the 2 car that comes home in the 3rd position here, Jason Dalton. Obviously a great run here this evening, as man, a good start for you in the playoffs here, and what some could think is the toughest track to get through out of the 4 or the 5 races on the playoff schedule. You've survived, finished 3rd, and that's got to be a pretty good feeling.
It's a great feeling, man. For me to be in the top 5, much less on a podium on a road track, that's like a win for me. So I'll take that any day.
Talk about how tough it was out there. Obviously, you had a car that, a stock car on a 4-mile road course that, gives you pretty much 14 different chances to make a mistake on entry and exit. And to be able to keep all 4 wheels on it pretty clean here tonight, obviously has to be pretty cool to be able to do. But talk about the racing out there.
Yeah, the racing in the beginning was pretty tough because there's nowhere to pass on the track. You have to set everything up to get around somebody, and when you run around there after about 10 or 12 laps, your tires are getting a little bit greasy, and corner entry and exit's real tough. I mean, I blew a lot of corner entries and blew a lot of corner exits, but I just didn't blow them bad enough to hurt myself a whole lot.
Right.
The pit, I don't know who all pitted when I pitted or whatever, but I pitted just in time, I think, for me to be able to finish strong on my tires. Bryson got out in front of me there, and I had to battle him for 2 or 3 laps, which was real fun to do. But I kind of stuck a nose under him and pushed him out of the way a little bit there to pass him. But overall, man, the racing was fun. I didn't feel like I was really racing anybody. I was racing myself against the track. As long as you could keep it on the track, I felt like you'd have a pretty good run.
Yeah, and obviously we'll wait on the points to get updated here, but staying consistent, obviously a way to go. You get the week off before we get to come back and do it again. 3 more weeks to go in this chase format, and obviously I think to put yourself in position still pretty key here. Probably 1 more race or so before I think you really got to go for it at that point to know if you're in there running for the championship or if you're just trying to get the best possible spot.
Yeah, I always bury myself. Every playoff, first race always kind of messes up on me, or I do something stupid. But had a mediocre race last week. I was kind of dreading this week just because it was a road course, but it turned out well for me, and I think several of the playoff contenders there finished quite a bit below me or right behind me or whatever, but definitely gained some spots tonight, and looking forward to seeing what the rest of this chase holds.
Yeah, right now it looks like you are sitting 31 points off of the point lead going into the off week here this week as Fontaine continues to lead, but you move up 2 spots to 6 now on the chase grid, so that's got to be a pretty good feeling.
It is. I mean, like I said, I've always put myself in the hole, never really had a chance at it. But, I'm trying to just stay consistent, stay positive about it, have fun. And, my main goal, as I told you, I was going to talk to you during these playoffs before you retired. And here I am, and I'm looking to talk to you a few more times before this is over as well.
I love it, man. Well, hey, great job. Send some shouts over like too.
Yeah, just my friends and family that watch and support me and stuff. Man, it's fun to have them cheer you on, and And man, it's awesome having you do the broadcast. I'm sad about everything, but wish you the best, obviously, and we're going to make the most of it these next few races. Like I said, I plan on talking to you at least 2 or 3 more times.
I like it. Give me one more win. How's that?
All right, man, I'm going to put this Captain eSports Network car, man. I think it's going to be in victory lane before this playoffs is over, just for you.
I like it, man. Good job tonight.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Jason Dalton, the third place finisher here tonight, as he moves up to the 6th position in the point standings after a great finish here tonight. As we'll move him up to the waiting room, we'll talk to his teammate. Finishes in the 2nd position tonight, Sam Fontaine, who honestly, it's one of the rare races where you can almost say Fontaine didn't have anything for Brandon or for another driver or something like that. Usually Fontaine one of the faster cars each week, but Sam Brandon pretty much from the start, it's almost like he had a 5th gear in that car and just took off, and there was no catching him.
Yeah, I had that impression that he would be like really strong at this place. I mean, I think he showed it in the past that he was like a really good racer at that place, and we saw it tonight. Super good, super consistent, and super stable, patient with the car, which really helped him out. I mean, obviously my goal wasn't to win the race. I know that I had a little buffer, and I knew that like Diego or Alfin had like a little nudge over me in terms of speed. So I was going in this race with the mindset of like top 3 or top 5 would be great for the points, and finishing P2 is really great. I mean, I didn't have anything for Alfin anyway, so yeah, gotta take it.
Obviously, leading the points, you extended out to 12 after Miles had I'm not sure what was going on there towards the end of the race, if it was saving fuel or something to get to the finish, but a 12-point advantage going to the break, that's got to be a positive for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking forward for the rest of the season and see how it's gonna go, because we still have like 3 races to go. It's a long way for a championship. Only 12 points in front of someone. Like, things can happen real quick. You can lose. If you win, a win is already 5 points more, and if you got bonus points for leading laps and stuff, I mean, the gap can grow or got pretty quick by those guys. They are really strong everywhere, so it's gonna be really interesting. And Miles, yeah, I think he pitted 2 laps too early, so I'm pretty sure he had to save at least 1 lap of fuel.
Fortunate there. Well, fortunate for you, as you have a 12-point lead as we take the off week for Thanksgiving and then go to Las Vegas in a couple weeks. Obviously, send some shout-outs whoever you'd like to.
Yeah, big shout-out to Jay for his first road course podium. Pretty good for him, pretty good for the team, pretty good for the host, for his playoff. And yeah, every guy who showed up tonight, but big shout-out to Alfin, who kicked our asses tonight.
Literally.
Yeah, he was miles ahead of us, so yeah. And obviously the sponsor of the league, Mr. Radiator, there every week. Joey with us and having fun on track, and hopefully having fun a little bit off track too. And yourself always for the great broadcast you're doing.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight.
Thanks, Vic.
You too. As Sam Fontaine finishes in the 2nd position here this evening, behind this guy here who's having a convo with Jason. Sorry to interrupt you there, Brandon. As you go to victory lane here tonight, man, the first win, I didn't even realize this first win since season 2, and it actually happened on the same week, basically, as you went to victory lane in August the 15th at Chicago on the street circuit, and now tonight you just absolutely pull a, I mean, need I say, let's throw a baseball reference out there, you pull a Greg Maddux, like 1 hour, 30-minute game, a la 90s Braves on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it was, that's what Jason and I were actually just kind of talking about too, like the long runs and stuff. But yeah, you know, coming in on the schedule, especially after the week I had last week, kind of disappointing. As my own fault, screwed myself on pit strategy as far as taking tires and stuff. So it really needed to kind of maximize this opportunity. And Road America's always been a course that I enjoy running, and especially, I guess I'm backwards. Everybody tells me running road courses on like actual road course cars is a whole lot funner, but I have a lot more fun running the stock cars on them. So I guess maybe I'm an oddball out with that, but just kind of put in some laps during the week, and then just had to make sure too once kind of got out there and got in the rhythm, just made sure I hit my mark.
Obviously, that's be a pretty good feeling to go get yourself a win, and now move yourself up 4 positions to the 5th position in points. You're only 24 points out now, with an off week before you go to Vegas. A little bit of momentum going into that off week.
Yeah, absolutely, and then just kind of keep it rolling, especially getting in. I think we got 3. It's 2 races left, ain't it? I think we got 2. I think it's 2, right?
No,
yeah, because I think
Vegas, Kern County, and Auto Club.
3. All right, so I messed up the schedule on that one, but yeah, just kind of keep the momentum rolling. Just kind of hopefully, like I said, I kind of put myself behind the 8 ball last week with where I finished at, and then just kind of keep it rolling. Kern's going to be that's going to be interesting. I don't think I've ran any laps there, so we'll see. We'll see how that kind of happens. I know it's Kevin Harvick's track and stuff. Maybe I'll just have to pull out a Ricky Rudd at Richmond there or something. See what I can do.
All he does is runs yap a little bit. I just thought about that's going to be the last track I have to buy actually on iRacing. But anyways, well, man, obviously a great job going to Victory Lane. I was a little worried because you brought up the strategy, and I'm like, man, strategy on a road course. Why does Red Bull come back in my head?
Oh, that was bad. Ever since then, I said, all right, I'm not trying anything. So I think I maybe rubbed off on Miles tonight on that one, but kind of going early and stuff. But yeah, that was, and I'll keep going on that, just kind of talk about strategy. It kind of, unfortunately, Miles got popped out of our Discord somehow, so we didn't talk to him until like the last maybe 3 laps and stuff, trying to figure out if he could make it and stuff. And I figured, especially too, Miles is always good about that stuff. He never really messes up when it comes to that kind of thing. And because I really didn't, I don't know, I just didn't really know what to do, because I pitted a couple laps after him, then Fontaine and Diego ran long, and you always want to try to be the first car on a road course. I don't know. I just kind of played out how it did, so it was interesting. But to your point, I've stayed away from Red Bull. I've tried to forget about that.
I'll never let you go, buddy. But no, in all seriousness, great job tonight. Send some shout outs wherever you like to.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to our team. I think we ended up, which I think Miles ended up, I think he salvaged his run. I think he might have saved enough. I'll have to go back and check. But then also Bryson, had a good team points day. Then also give a shout out to Devin too in there. So he put in some laps. And also give a shout out to you, Scala. Again, appreciate everything you do, man. So it's always fun going back and watching the replay though. So I definitely enjoy it. And my dad, he watches every week too, so he enjoys it also. So hopefully we can put a good show on you for these last 3 races here in GLSR.
Oh, as always, doing a great job. Is a lot of fun to watch the racing and stuff like that. And congratulations on getting yourself another win. Happy for you, and go enjoy the holidays off.
All right, well, I appreciate it. You have a good Thanksgiving.
You too, sir. Absolutely. As Brandon Alphin goes to Victory Lane here tonight at Road America, as he gets another win in that column. And a big shout out to him for getting that one. Let's get your points up today here. Gonna take a second here to do a couple little thingies here really quickly. Gonna likely hear a little noisy here in a second. Here we go. The points should be here as we go to the off week before Vegas. Sam Fontaine leads by 12 over Stephen Miles. Diego Sainz 1 point back there in 3rd. Alex Bryson and Brandon Alphin now up to 5th, up 4 positions. Jason Dalton up 2 to 6th. And then here's where a lot of people fall, unfortunately. Strayer, Pluff, Telder all fall into points. A lot of sword stays in 10th. Sean Peachin and Dylan Rosenberg, your last 2 in the points. As we, again, Las Vegas 1.5 mile track coming up here in 2 weeks. Should be a good one to watch, especially with the pressure starting to rack up, because as you heard Brandon mention, Kern County in 2 weeks, that's a track that a lot of people don't really have a lot of racing experience on. It's a short track. It's got some Richmond look to it, and gonna have some interesting tight racing around that track. Looking forward to that coming up here in a couple weeks. But obviously that wraps up broadcasting here for a couple of days. Going to be about a 10-day off period before we come back on Monday. And I want to make sure I said December 3rd, but I want to make sure that date's actually correct. Let's see, that's actually a Tuesday. So Monday, December 2nd actually will be the next time we're on the air. And that'll be for Cup Car Racing, and we're going to be Texas, the old Texas track. So looking forward to that. So make sure you enjoy your Thanksgiving. Take care of your family and your friends, and obviously all the best to everybody in their Thanksgiving. Give your loved ones a big hug and enjoy your time together, because Christmas season is here. Not that I need to know that, because I'm already starting to feel it, because I'm going to bed. Leave it like that. It's been a tiring one, and hopefully enjoyed the broadcast is all I'm going to say, because I had to fight this one. So appreciate everybody for hanging out. Appreciate Mr. Radiator for sponsoring the Premier Series. Of course, GLSR for allowing us to broadcast with Sean Peachin and Tyler Brewer and all the guys that put in all the hard work. It was definitely a lot of fun. And as always, so we're going to head out. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. Blah!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.